A significant shift in motorhome regulations is set to reshape the RV industry in 2025, as 6 states implement new rules banning the sale of certain gas and diesel-powered recreational vehicles. California, Oregon, Washington, Massachusetts, New York, and New Jersey are leading this environmental initiative, which specifically targets larger motorhomes with a gross vehicle weight rating, GVWR, exceeding 8,500 pounds. The ban primarily affects Class A and Class C motorhomes, the larger, more traditional RVs that have long been popular among travelers and full-time RVers. Under the new regulations, manufacturers and dealers will no longer be allowed to sell new gas or diesel-powered motorhomes of this size in these states. This change is part of a broader push toward zero-emission vehicles, following guidelines set by regulatory agencies like the California Air Resources Board, CARB. While the goal is to reduce emissions and promote cleaner transportation options, the immediate impact on the RV community could be substantial. For potential buyers, the regulations mean fewer options when shopping for new motorhomes in these states. While zero-emission alternatives are being developed, the current market offers limited choices for large, fully electric recreational vehicles. This situation may particularly affect RV enthusiasts who live in or frequently travel through these states. The new rules could also reshape the RV industry itself. Manufacturers face the challenge of either developing zero-emission alternatives that meet the size and functionality requirements of traditional motorhomes, or adjusting their business strategies in these markets. Dealers in affected states may need to modify their inventory and sales approaches to comply with the regulations. For RV enthusiasts planning future purchases, these changes may require careful consideration of their options, including possibly registering vehicles in other states or exploring emerging zero-emission alternatives as they become available. California is leading a major change in how we think about big vehicles and their impact on our environment. The California Air Resources Board, or CARB for short, has updated its rules to tackle climate change, and these changes are going to affect motorhomes in a big way. Starting in 2025, California wants all new large vehicles over 8,500 pounds, which includes most big motorhomes, to produce zero emissions. That means no more traditional gas or diesel engines for new RVs unless they can run without creating pollution. Several other states have decided to follow California's lead on this. Why is California doing this? Think of it this way. Larger vehicles like motorhomes use more fuel and create more pollution than regular cars. This is especially noticeable in popular spots like national parks where lots of RVs gather. By focusing on these bigger vehicles, California hopes to make a significant dent in air pollution and help fight climate change. The state has set an ambitious goal. They want to eliminate all carbon emissions by 2045. It's like setting a deadline for everyone to switch from gas-powered to clean energy vehicles. However, this creates some real challenges for RV manufacturers and buyers. Current electric technology for big motorhomes isn't quite there yet. The batteries don't last long enough for typical RV trips, and there aren't enough charging stations on the road. This push for cleaner RVs means manufacturers need to step up their game in developing new technologies. While this might lead to some growing pains in the short term, the goal is to create RVs that let people enjoy their road trips while helping protect the environment for future generations of travelers. The new zero-emission rules are causing major headaches for companies that make RVs and the people who want to buy them. Here's why. The big companies that build the diesel frames, or chassis, for luxury motorhomes, names like Spartan and Freightliner, can't meet these new clean air requirements yet. It's like being asked to bake a cake without flour. The basic ingredient they've always used just isn't allowed anymore. This has led to some serious ripple effects. Newmar, a well-known RV maker, has already announced they'll stop selling their diesel motorhomes in California and the other states with these rules. For RV buyers, especially those who want the power of diesel engines for towing or climbing mountains, this means their choices are suddenly much more limited. The challenge for manufacturers is huge. They need to completely reinvent how they build large motorhomes. While electric cars are common now, creating electric or hydrogen-powered motorhomes is much trickier. The technology just isn't quite there yet. Current issues include batteries that don't last long enough for typical RV trips, charging stations that are few and far between, and very long charging times that could make road trips much more complicated. All this means RV makers are in a tough spot. They need to spend lots of money developing new technology while still trying to keep prices reasonable. For buyers, this likely means fewer choices in these states, longer waits for new models, and probably higher prices. Some people might need to look at buying their RVs from dealers in other states, though that could create registration problems later. These changes are pushing the RV industry toward a cleaner future, but the road getting there is going to be bumpy for both manufacturers and buyers. Registration challenges. Think you can outsmart the new RV rules by buying from another state? Not so fast. The 6 states with these new regulations, California, Oregon, Washington, Massachusetts, New York, and New Jersey, aren't just banning sales of heavy motorhomes, they're also blocking registration of non-compliant RVs purchased elsewhere. Here's what that means in plain English. Even if you drive to Nevada or Arizona to buy a new gas or diesel motorhome, you won't be able to register it back home in California. It's like buying a cell phone that won't work on your local network. You might own it, but you can't use it where you live. This creates a real headache for RV enthusiasts. If you live in one of these states and need a new motorhome after 2025, you'll have 3 main choices. Number 1, wait for zero-emission motorhomes to become available, which could take a while and might be expensive. Number 2, choose a smaller motorhome that weighs less than 8,500 pounds. Number 3, consider moving to a state without these restrictions. This is especially tough for people who need powerful diesel motorhomes for specific reasons, like towing heavy trailers or traveling long distances. The current electric alternatives just aren't ready to handle these kinds of demands yet. These states are basically saying, if you want to buy a new motorhome here, it needs to be zero emission, no exceptions. While this push toward cleaner RVs makes sense for the environment, it's creating immediate challenges for RV owners. Many are now having to rethink their travel plans, consider different types of RVs, or look at alternatives like travel trailers that aren't affected by these rules. The RV world is in quite a stir over these new clean air rules, and everyone from manufacturers to local dealers is speaking up about their concerns. Think of it like being told to build an electric airplane when we're still figuring out electric cars. It's a huge challenge that needs more time to solve. The RV Industry Association, RVIA, is leading the push to either change these rules or get more time to meet them. They're telling state officials, look, we want cleaner RVs too, but we need time to get the technology right. It's not just about making an RV that runs on electricity. It needs to handle long trips, rough terrain, and work in places where you might not find a charging station for hundreds of miles. Local RV dealers are worried about their businesses too. Imagine being a car dealer suddenly told you can't sell most of your most popular models. That's what these dealers are facing. They're talking to lawmakers about how these changes could hurt local jobs and affect the whole RV vacation lifestyle that many Americans love. The challenges are especially tough for smaller RV companies. Creating new electric or hydrogen-powered RVs takes a lot of money and time, something smaller companies might not have. Plus, dealers need to figure out what to stock and how to explain to customers why an electric RV might cost more and travel shorter distances between charges. While everyone agrees that moving toward cleaner RVs is important, the industry is asking for a more realistic timeline. They're working on developing zero-emission motorhomes, but want regulators to understand that rushing the process could create more problems than it solves. It's like trying to build a house. You need the right tools, materials, and time to do it right, or it won't work for anyone. As RV enthusiasts face new restrictions on larger motorhomes, several practical alternatives are emerging to help travelers maintain their mobile lifestyle while meeting environmental requirements. The shift towards smaller RVs, particularly Class B motorhomes and camper vans, offers an appealing solution for many buyers affected by the upcoming weight restrictions. These compact RVs pack surprising functionality into their smaller frames. While they may not match the spacious layouts of Class A motorhomes, modern Class B vehicles cleverly incorporate essential amenities like efficient kitchenettes, comfortable sleeping quarters, and even compact bathrooms. Their smaller size brings notable advantages: better fuel efficiency, easier handling in urban areas, and simpler parking. For weekend travelers, or those who prefer mobility over space, these vehicles offer an excellent balance of comfort and practicality. For those already owning larger motorhomes, retrofitting presents a potential pathway to compliance, though it comes with significant considerations. The process involves modifying existing engines or exhaust systems to meet newer emission standards, a complex undertaking that requires careful planning and investment. While some owners might hesitate at the costs involved, emerging retrofit technologies are making this option increasingly feasible. Specialized conversion kits and alternative fuel systems designed specifically for RVs are beginning to appear in the market, though their availability and effectiveness vary. However, Retrofitting isn't without challenges. The process can be expensive, and not all motorhomes are suitable candidates for modification. Technical limitations, safety considerations, and the availability of compatible parts all play crucial roles in determining whether retrofitting is viable for a particular vehicle. The RV world is about to go through some big changes, much like when cars started shifting from gas to electric. While this might seem scary for RV lovers, it's also bringing some exciting new developments. First up, electric motorhomes are coming. Manufacturers are working hard to solve the big challenges, making batteries that last longer and finding ways to charge RVs quickly. Companies are also working to set up charging stations that can handle big RVs, not just cars. Some manufacturers are looking at hydrogen fuel cells. Imagine a system that works like a gas tank but only produces water as exhaust. These could be great for bigger RVs because they can go further than current electric batteries and fill up quickly. The downside? There aren't many hydrogen stations yet. RV makers are getting creative with design too. They're looking at lighter materials to help RVs go further on a charge, kind of like how planes use lightweight materials to fly more efficiently. Solar panels on RV roofs could help power things like air conditioning and appliances, taking some strain off the main power source. We're likely to see RV companies teaming up with tech companies that know all about electric vehicles. This teamwork could speed up progress and eventually make these new RVs more affordable, just like we've seen with electric cars. While change isn't easy, these new RVs might end up being pretty impressive. Imagine camping without engine noise, never having to stop for gas, and knowing your vacation isn't hurting the environment. The future of RVing might look different, but it could be better than ever. Change isn't always easy, but these new zero-emission RVs could transform the way we travel. Quiet, fuel-free, and eco-friendly. The future of RVing is here, and it might just be better than ever. Want to know how to make the most of it? Catch my next video for must-have tips and the latest RV tech. Subscribe and stay tuned.